What's up, guys? Here we go. Here it is. Let's check this thing out. Hold up, let me make sure I'm recording. Yep. All right, 2015 Triumph Bonneville T100. 865 cc's of classic awesome, just a beautiful bike. It is one of those bikes that they made it look like they're old classic bikes in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and they really kept that awesome classic styling. I'm using the word classic way too much, except they improved it, and it's fuel injected, and although it still looks like it's carbureted, that's actually fuel injection. That is pretty wild. Let's take this for a spin. I'm gonna tell you guys everything I hate about this bike. Everything. I'm gonna tell you who the bike is for. 4,096 miles. This, of course, is rocking the parallel twin, which I learned a couple weeks ago is different than an inline twin. The parallel twin is firing in parallel instead of like this. Now, first off, this bike, if you were looking for a bike, a starter bike, an entry-level bike, and you said, "Hey Sean, what about the Triumph? What about the Triumph T100 versus the regular Bonneville?" I would tell you this: absolutely, it's a great bike. It's an awesome bike for you to buy. It's gotta be one of the coolest first bikes anyone can ever get. The best thing about it is, it's not it's one of those bikes. There's not that many bikes out there like this, but it's one of those bikes that it could be your first bike and your last bike. You might want something different in life, but you might never want to sell if this was your first bike, if this was my first bike, I would never have any reason to sell it. I would just keep it, and I would just get other bikes, because we all know that, everyone needs like 7 bikes. Go back and rewind what I just said. Show it to your wife. Ma'am, it's just like shoes. How many pairs of shoes do you have? Right. There's a different pair of shoes for every situation, right? Okay, it's just like a motorcycle. Your husband needs 7 motorcycles. It's a different motorcycle for different situations. Bam. You're welcome, guys. Man, so this is a great entry-level bike. It's tons of fun. It's weighing in at 500 pounds, which is not, when you look at the weight, when you look at the number, you're like, oh, that's heavy. That's 100 pounds heavier than other bikes that maybe you're looking at. Don't even worry about the weight. Nothing about the bike feels heavy unless you're bench pressing it, which I do. And then it feels a little bit heavy, but I'm only repping like 12 reps on it. It's not ripping your arms off. It's not like a rocket, but you know what? Let's just do it. Hold up, let me just show you guys. Let me show this bike again real quick. I love the paint scheme on this thing. I remember having one of these. I remember having not one of these bikes, but a bike in the 80s, and it had chrome fenders. But these are not chrome; these are kind of like the silver, but it's kind of that same feeling. And I was all like, "Oh man, chrome fenders are so dumb," because now all the new bikes are painted fenders. But then I look at this bike and I'm like, that's freaking cool. I love that orange. All right, I'm just kind of rolling, and then I'm gonna get on it. So it's not like crazy fast, but if you're new to riding, this is gonna be just insane. You're gonna be like, oh, so fast, and you're gonna love it. So while it's not crazy fast, it still is crazy fun, because this is what motorcycle riding is. You're exposed. You're out in the open. You're there, you know what I mean? There's nothing around you. It's like riding a speedster. I don't know what they call them. The things on Star Wars, you know what I mean? It's just you and the bike on the road. And I love these simple bikes. There's nothing to them. There's no radio, there's no cruise control, there's no, and I'm not saying I don't like those features, because I do, but I appreciate when they're not there, because it's just you and the bike. Your bike breaks down when it doesn't start. These other bikes, it's like, oh, the bike broke down. Oh, my bike's broken. Oh, what happened to it? The radio doesn't work. It's like, what? What do you mean? What? Your bike's not broke? This thing has a very, very consistent, very smooth power band. Nice for new riders, but also fun for just experts, you know what I mean? You ride a bike like this, it makes you want to dress a little bit differently. Maybe wear a scarf, maybe wear like a bomber jacket and a scarf. That house was not here last time I drove past this. Does it handle well? Yes, it does. You can really accelerate inside the corners. Let me just put it this way. You are the limiting factor on how fast you can go around a corners if you're riding this bike. Unless you're Rossi. And then it's the bike. The bike's the limiting factor in that case. Ooh, we're about to hit 4,100 miles. All right, now, for everything, all right. Now, let me just do everything I hate about this bike. First of all, let me just look and try to find something. It is cool looking though. This bike could easily sit on your street, sit in your garage, sit in your driveway, or sit inside your office, or sit inside your kitchen, or in your bedroom, or in a museum. It just has all that, and people are always, everyone's gonna be like, wow, that's a cool looking bike, man. That's a sweet bike. What is that? What I hate about this bike, me personally, is it's not a 120. I love the T120. It takes this bike, magnifies it. I mean, same look and everything. It just gives me that extra. It's like the T120 is actually a pretty peppy bike. It's a pretty powerful bike. I think I can wheelie it, just like throttle wheelie it. So it takes everything I love about this bike and then says, hey Sean, I know you like that T100, right? And I'm like, yeah, but more power. Oh, hold up, man. More power. You know I love more power. I love these, man. Check it out. These tank things right here. These are not just for looks. These are function. You see what I got going on right here? On a bike like this is like classic sport bike type of thing. On a bike like this, you're actually not holding on. Guys, new riders, old riders, listen to this. You're not holding on with the handlebars. I know a lot of you guys think, oh, I'm holding on with the handlebars. You're not holding on with the handlebars. You are holding on with your legs, baby. Look at this. This is how you're holding on. Now you're steering with the handlebars, but you're staying on the bike with your legs. And it's nice because you got this little grip pad that makes it real easy. That's even more true when you're really getting it laying it over. And then this knee's kind of down and you're really gripping with this leg right here. And that's what's keeping you on the bike. Little kids are all waiting to go to school, meet their new friends. Clutch is very light. Man, this bike is cool. If you're putting together your 7, made it. If you're putting together your 7 to 12 bike collection, and you have like a bunch of other stuff, and you don't have a Bonneville, if it were me and I was gonna put a little Bonneville in my collection, if the old ones, if the new ones look just like the old ones but better and are probably the similar price, because they're crazy, and they're fuel injected and they run better and they're faster and they brake better and everything is better and they're like new, why would you buy an old one? Why would you buy an old one? You could spend $10,000 restoring an old one to look like this, but it would never run like this unless you put this motor in there. Alright guys, that wraps it up. I'm Sean from Srkcycles. This bike is awesome, but the 120 is awesomer. But the 120 is not. The 120 kind of excludes you from being like a good entry-level bike. Alright guys, that wraps it up. We'll see you guys later. I am Sean from Srkcycles, and remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going. What's up guys, I'm Sean. Thanks for watching that great video, and as always, click down here to subscribe, and here's the next fun video for you guys to watch. We'll see you guys next time.
And that wasn't far enough away.
And I had no clue. I'm just gonna tell you guys to back off. Train your bikes, and listen, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going. We'll see you guys later. We're pumped.